staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground, 'cause I'm still starting my destiny. I'm still starting my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you choosing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My skin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gon' stop till I rest in peace and they put a hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm sore when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want my to hide. It's whatever. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength assassin, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And people make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Move around and call me on my A game. Supposed to be like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you need to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose ground, 'cause I'm still starting my destiny. I'm still starting my destiny.
Good afternoon, BFAM 109.6.com, Facebook, Instagram, or however you are viewing or listening in. This is Tea Time with Tara live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Please be sure, if you haven't already, to head over to my YouTube page at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit like on the video, share it with somebody, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out episodes of Season 1 and Season 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need on their journey to stalking their destiny. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me at facebook.com at Tara M. Williams. That's TARAH. You can connect with me on Instagram at Stalk Your Destiny Official, or you can connect with me on TikTok at Stalk Your Destiny. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. This is Tea Time with Tara live and on air. How are y'all doing? Shout out to Stalk Your Destiny for being a continued sponsor of this show, y'all. We wouldn't have the show without Stalk Your Destiny, okay? And that's where we believe everything you want to become, you already are, all right? So, as we always do, I hope y'all are ordering these books, okay? I hope y'all are ordering your own copy of the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, which is an interactive book about personal and business development. But we've been using this book to go over quotes every Monday, okay? I've been giving you guys food for thought quotes every Monday out of the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, okay? And I'll tell you shortly where you can get that book. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, I'll let you know how you can get that, okay? And so today's food for thought quote comes from the chapter titled Wise Choices, okay? And so here it says, some people struggle with making wise choices because they aren't thinking for themselves and their priorities are not where they need to be, okay? Some people struggle with making wise choices because, number one, they aren't thinking for themselves, and number two, their priorities are not where they need to be. So let me ask you this in terms of making wise choices, and I might read this too. I might go ahead and just read this chapter. But in terms of you making wise choices in your life, are you struggling with making wise choices in your life? And if you're struggling, what is the struggle with it? Like, are you struggling because you don't know where to place your priority? Are you struggling because you have people telling you what you should do and you have a thought for yourself, you know? So one of the questions here, and this book is interactive, so there are questions here. It says, how can you make better choices today for your tomorrow, for your future tomorrow? I'm sorry. How can you make better choices today for your future tomorrow? And what will it take for you to take control of your decisions? So I think the first thing here in wise choices is about ownership, right? Owning the fact that you have a choice, you have a decision to make, you have a choice in the matter. Like, this is where your voice really does matter, because these are the choices that you make, the decisions that you make determine the outcome of what tomorrow will look like. And so if you're making choices based on what someone else said, most likely, if it's not something you also agree with for yourself, then you're going to fall into a type of resentment towards that self and towards that decision. And maybe I said towards that self, I'm sorry, towards that person or whoever was the influence or whatever was the influence. You may build a resentment towards that. You may build a resentment toward yourself, okay, and then towards the decision at hand. And so, in being wise about it, sometimes you really have to just ask yourself, is this really what I want? And when it comes to the priorities, people may think that it's like a pie, okay? And this pie has your priorities in it, right? Some things may be equal in that pie. Some of your priorities may be equal, but are you still treating it as a priority is the question, okay? And so even if your priorities are not all equal, are you making choices that line up with your priorities? That's like people that have morals and standards, these values, but are you making decisions that go against them? Because if we have morals and standards and values and we're making toxic decisions that tear down those walls of our values, then we're conforming to a life we don't even want to live. We're creating drama and chaos that we don't even desire for ourselves because of our decisions. Okay. And even in struggling with making wise choices, let's see, in terms of thinking for yourself, we're trained to not think for ourselves. I don't know if you all realize that. Typically, with public education, we are trained to do as we are told. We're trained to respond to the questions in the way the teacher desires, in the way the curriculum desires, not to be a free thinker. So then when you get out into the world and you are required to be a free thinker, are you actually taking the time necessary for you to figure out what matters to you without other people's words or voices in your mind, without that impact being there? Are you shutting out the world and unlearning things? So we would have to unlearn the do as I say, not as I do, because ain't nobody going to hold your hand unless you're paying them to, okay? I.e. me as an accountability partner. And even still, no one can pull you to the decisions you've made for yourself. You have to be willing to go in the direction that you decide for yourself. And so this is kind of where thinking for yourself and your priority go hand in hand. Okay. Where you have to say, does this really matter to me? Like, do I give a fuck really is the question you have to say. Okay. I'm not sugarcoating anything today. My energy is low. Okay. And I'm present and we're going to do this today. Okay. But do I care about X, Y, and Z? And then be honest about that. Be honest with yourself about whether or not what you're doing or the decision that you're making is something you actually give two fucks about. Like, do you really care or not? And you have to determine that for yourself. You can't make decisions based on your spouse, your loved one, your favorite cousin, your mom, your dad, your boss, your best friend. Oh, do this because your best friend said it. No, you have to live with those decisions. And so in business, even especially in business, like let's talk about like investments and things like that. People want you to, invest over here, invest over there, whether it's time, money, effort, energy, anything service. People they want to coerce you into doing and going in the direction that they want because they want to be able to use you in that capacity, or they need you in that capacity. But you have to be mindful to say, like, for real, like yes or no. Let your yes be yes in that manner, and let your no be no in that case as well. Okay. So if you're one of the people that struggle with making wise choices because you're not thinking for yourself, or because you don't, your priorities are not where they need to be, then you have the right to take the time and determine where do you want to place your priority? What weights do you want to put on the things that you value? Okay. So keep that in mind as you go throughout this week. Y'all know that the food for thought quote is supposed to be something you think about throughout the week. Talk about it with somebody else. Really think about that for yourself. What do you need to unlearn in order to live the life that you desire to live, have the business that you desire to have? And just what do you need to take off, in your life? What do you need to remove? And then what needs to be added on as well. Okay. So that was the food for thought quote from ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. And the chapter, and that was Wise Choices. Now, today we start a new devotional where I speak from. Okay. And this is a part of my Earthly Branches 12-book devotional series. And we are starting on the book titled Enlightenment. So that's the subject for this one. For the next few weeks, I will be speaking in the devotional time from this book, Enlightenment. Okay. And so the chapter, let me see. So where this comes from is where we're coming from today in terms of the scripture for this devotional moment is from Ecclesiastes 7. Now, also, guys, this book, Earthly Branches, a 12-book devotional series, all of those books, along with the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny and my other books, can be found at www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Okay. That can be found at www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop, where you can get the Earthly Branches Daily Devotional, a 12-book devotional series, or you can get the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, or just check out any of my other books or products available to you all as you go along, stalking your destiny and having tea time. Okay. So let's get to this with Ecclesiastes 7. Okay, it says, a good name is better than fine perfume, and the day of death better than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, for death is the destiny of everyone. The living should take this to heart. Frustration is better than laughter, because a sad face is good for the heart. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of pleasure. It is better to heed the rebuke of a wise person than to listen to the song of fools. Like the crackling of thorns under the pot, so is the laughter of fools. This too is meaningless. Exhortation turns a wise person into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Do not say, why were the old days better than these? For it is not wise to ask such questions. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. Okay. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, you all, but that is from Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Okay. I only read verse 1 through 11, and there are 29 verses, okay, here. So be sure to go back and read that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Okay. So point 1 here says, the character of a man is shown in his choices. Here we go. Wise choices, right off the bat, okay? The character of a man is shown in his choices, the perception shown in his actions. The integrity of a man is a lasting legacy, stones told of a name once known. The daily focus here is be humble in your heart, okay? And the question for the day here is, what weight does your name carry? Now, I'm not sure if I've told you all, my listeners and viewers here, how important it is for your name, for you to know what your name means, okay? And the weight that carries, because to me personally, I have become what my name means, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize that what I was doing in my business, how I lived my life, or how I carry myself, even that all of those things are combined in what my name means. And I've bared my name all of my life, Tara. Okay. And so, what weight does your name carry? And not only in terms of the definition of your name, in terms of like, the name meanings and things like that online that you can find or in books, but also what kind of person are you? If there was a story written about you today, what weight would your name carry? Think about that. Okay. The second point here says, fools are quickly provoked to anger. Patience is better than pride. So let the past be the past and accept the end of a matter. Don't be easily bought. Okay. So the daily focus here says, chase the sun, look forward to a brighter tomorrow. Okay. And then the question for the day here is, how do you view your future? And y'all, I know sometimes it says fools are quickly provoked to anger and patience is better than pride. Let the past be the past and accept the end of a matter. So that's hard. It's hard to keep the past in the past because sometimes the past will come up in the future or the present, it'll come up again and it'll resurface. That's the word. The past will resurface sometimes and dim the light for your future. So how do you navigate that? Do you have a strategy in place to combat that? And I say that because something like really the past is really hard to deal with when it comes up again. You can say in that moment, like, okay, I'm over it. That was tough. That was hard. I don't want to feel that way anymore, or things like that. Or even if it's good, let's say if it's good, right? They say you're only as good as your last bestseller, right? And even that can be a challenge. Like, oh, I did so great back then, and it's destroying you now. Okay, the comparison can be destroying you now. And not only the comparison, but just the thought of it, the thought of, I did this then and here's where I am now. And that may not feel good. And that can hinder how you see your future. And y'all, like when I say like, I'm dealing with this right now, I'm dealing with removing residues from the past, from different situations, different mindsets, and different experiences. And so in removing those things, got to be mindful of a brighter tomorrow. Got to be mindful that to keep your eye on what it is you truly desire to see, right? I know in Isaiah 55, I always reference that to say what you want to see, because 55:11 says, so are the words that go out from my mouth. They will not return to me empty or void, but they will achieve the purpose for which I sent them. Okay. And so being mindful to only speak what you want to see, being mindful to only say what you want to see out of your mouth. Okay. So how do you view your future? And then also, are you walking in that? Are you walking forward in that? Isaiah 43:19 says to forget the past behind you. 43:18, I'm sorry, says forget the past behind you, and then 19 says, see, I'm doing a new thing. That's Isaiah 43:18 and 19. Okay. Forget the past behind you and see, I'm doing a new thing. Like, leave it alone. Let it be. Right. And see, I'm doing a new thing. And it's tough to do that, y'all, but it is very necessary to do that. If you want to get to the better place, the brighter tomorrow, we've got to remove the past. We got to take off the old man. When I was a child, I thought as a child. Now, now that I'm full grown, and the Bible says man, I think like a man. Now, I act like a man. I speak like a man. I understand as a man. Okay. So we've got to go from glory to glory. Excuse me. We've got to go. I'm so sorry. We've got to go from one thing to the next, constantly moving forward. Okay. Point 3 here says, accept what God allows. Find peace and balance in the ups and downs of life. Flow with the current rather than against it, and fear the Lord. Okay. And so the daily focus here says, wisdom preserves those who have it. And the question for the day is, are you bringing yourself down? Like, y'all, I I had a rough day yesterday, okay? Are you bringing yourself down, right? And wisdom preserves those who have it, but the more, the more knowledge you have, the more sorrow as well. So this says, accept what God allows. Find peace and balance in the ups and downs of life. Flow with the current rather than against it and fear the Lord, right? So yesterday was a rough day, rough internally, emotionally, okay, mentally, I would say, just a rough time, right? And that's because my wisdom of self-examination was growing, right? And when you recognize things, like when they say, when you know better, you do better. And so knowing better was challenging me to do better, okay? And in that, it says, are you bringing yourself down? Sometimes we can get so worked up in what's not going right, or just feeling what we feel, okay? Because feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid, right? Sometimes things can be going rough and it hurts and it's painful. But in that, are you uplifting yourself, or are you standing on a soapbox waiting on someone to save you? And I say that lightly because there's nothing wrong with standing on a soapbox for a moment. Have your moment, express what you need to express, be heard. You have a voice that needs to be heard, right? But when you're done being heard, get your shit together, because then you could be the one constantly keeping you in that place. And that's not what we want to do. That's not where we want to be. That's not healthy. Keeping you in a low place, okay? That means that you're not finding peace and balance in the ups and downs. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be downs. It's going to be tough, okay? But a quote by D.H. Lawrence, I believe, says, I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. You've got to be the wild thing, okay? And y'all, don't get me wrong. In my moment yesterday of feeling bad, I also heard a song by Beyonce, like, who's there to save the hero after she saves the world, okay? And many of us, have this, and I don't want to say hero complex, but we have a natural ability and willingness to help others when they ask, okay? Because we're not trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho or anything like that. We're not running after people to save them. The cape is off, right? But many of us are in a position where we want to contribute, help, and support in some type of way, right? But when you look around, you're wondering, where's your help? Where's your support? Okay? And we know that our help comes from the Lord, but you just can't bring yourself down in that space, okay? Express what you need to express, feel what you need to feel, and then find a way forward. Because after each of the scriptures that say something about leaving the past behind, then it's go forward. Leave it there, then go forward. It doesn't say anything about remain in this place and cry, woe is me. I've never seen a wild thing sorry for itself. Okay? So be mindful of that. And point number 4 here says, no one person has all the answers. Okay, y'all? And you don't need to know everything. I'm talking to myself now, okay? Sometimes the truth is in your face and you wrote it, okay? For the thoughts you have had towards others very well may have been the thoughts others have also had toward you. No one can determine what is to come. So be mindful of how you put your thoughts on people, what you think towards them as well, because they may think the same thing about you, and be mindful too that the great things you think about people, they may think that great of you as well. And I just want to sit there for a second and say that you are worthy of that too. If people think greatly of you and you know that you're not pretending, you know that you are being true from within, your true self, not putting on a mask, then sometimes accepting that greatness or those compliments can be hard, okay? So just be mindful to know that people may have those thoughts towards you as well, good or bad, ugly or indifferent, okay? So the daily focus here says there is no one who does what is right and never sins. Nobody. So we all have something, somewhere to grow, somewhere to learn from, and something to share. Okay, you have something to share. I don't care how good or bad you think your life is. You absolutely have a story to share with someone else that could encourage them, that could just be what they need at that moment. You just never know. So the question for the day here, it says, how powerful are you? Okay. How powerful are you? Right, y'all? That was the first week of the Earthly Branches, the 12-book devotional series, Enlightenment. Okay. Subject topic, enlightenment. Okay. And that came from Ecclesiastes 7, y'all. We read from Ecclesiastes 7. And so think about those things. Okay. And if you want to get that book, you can go to www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Okay. Now with our sponsor, Stalk Your Destiny, we are having classes, you guys. For those of you who do know, and some of you may not know, I am a life coach and chaos coordinator. I'm also a published author. Okay. And more. I host this radio show. I host another show. Okay. However, let's talk about the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Yes, that is a book that I use here to encourage you all with our food for thought quote from each chapter. However, that is also a course, an 8-week study course that I have. That course is now available online for you to sign up for. You can go to www.stan.store/stalk your destiny, and that's STALK your destiny. Okay. And I'll say it again in just a second, but that's where you can go to click the link and register for those classes. You can take one class. It's broken up into eight weeks. Okay. We go from A to Z, but you can take whatever is important to you, whatever matters to you. In terms of those topic areas, you can take one class, 3 classes, or all 8 classes, and you can take them in whichever order you decide. Be mindful that taking them out of order, that some of the work that goes with it will be out of order, y'all, because the work is about transformation. Okay. I don't deal in personal and business development to have playtime with you all. I deal in that because you want to transform your life. You want to make a change. You want to reach your destiny, or at least outline what that looks like. And for some of you, these classes may be great for you because you may just want to gain clarity on what to do or how to shift from where you are to where you want to be. Go from the past to the future and get out of your own way. So if any of that resonated with you, then the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny classes online are for you. That will be live with me. It will not be evergreen. Evergreen. It will not be evergreen. It will be live with me on Zoom each week. And so you can register for that at www.stan.store/stalk your destiny and sign up for whichever class resonates with you according to what you need or desire in your own life. This is where you get to make a decision for yourself, y'all. If you need anything else with Stalk Your Destiny, you can still visit stan.store/stalk your destiny and check out what else I offer for you guys and ways to work with me as a life coach, for book writing assistance or partnership. As well as just if you needed to have a talk with me, you needed to chat with me about overcoming some obstacles or sorting out thoughts to gain clarity for your business or personal life, and you just want to go forward in that. Okay. So again, register for classes. Thanks to Stalk Your Destiny for being a sponsor of the Tea Time with Tara Live and On Air show. You guys can register for the classes at www.stan.store/stalk your destiny. And I hope to see you in class soon. Okay. So you guys, for the business topic of the week, okay, I'm just going to be really frank with you guys. We have a topic for the week, and I have no notes on what direction God wants to take this in today. So bear with me as we go through this next about 20 minutes, and let's see what God has in store for us. The topic is don't push me. The topic is don't push me. And the funny thing is, I know I just spent the first half of the show just telling you guys, like, basically get on top of your shit, leave the past behind you and get moving, right? But the reality of situations like that is that you could be at your wit's end. You know, how many of you are holding on? You know, how many of you are doing the best that you can and life is just happening, right? And or doing the best you can and like things aren't happening for you. Okay, like it may not be all bad. Life may not be all bad, y'all. I want y'all to know this show is not just for people that are dealing with detrimental situations. Life could be good and you can still have a void. Okay, you can still have a void. And so, in our topic, don't push me in business or personal, it's like, don't push me. Like, I have this workload and I'm trusting in you, Lord, to bring it through, right? But I'm struggling with that. You know, I'm struggling with that. And it's amazing because we just never know the weight that someone else is carrying. And I think this is why it's important to always be kind. Even if you don't like them, y'all, listen, we deal with people we don't like often. Okay. It may just be something about them that just grinds our gears. Okay. But we deal with them often and they may care, they may have good intentions, you know, or whatever, but just be kind. Okay. In that instance, because you don't want to push them, you also don't want them to push you. And sometimes we can provoke that with our own attitudes towards life. Okay. And so with Don't Push Me, I did a podcast years ago titled Don't Push Me, probably about 2021. I did a podcast episode on Stalk Your Destiny podcast. Okay. That's available on all major platforms, Stalk Your Destiny podcast. And I did a show called Don't Push Me. And the reason that I did that episode was because I had a client who I really care about, okay, I love dearly, who was trying to be supportive, but it was pushy. It was like something I didn't ask for, okay? Excuse me. And then also there was another person who I think was just pressing buttons. So let's take this in another direction, right? What happened with this was not only that they were pushing me in terms of trying to be supportive of the direction that I was going in my life and business, but what they were doing was crossing boundaries. So let's get to the real topic here, okay? Putting boundaries in place. This is also coming back to making wise choices and having priorities. This is boundaries now. What do you know? I don't want to say what do you. Do you know your boundaries? Do you have any boundaries? Do you have what it takes to put boundaries in place? Okay, y'all, I'm talking about business and personal life. I'm not just talking about friendships. I'm not just talking about romance. I'm not talking about family relationships. I am talking about you and your own, for you. What do you need? This is where you make choices for yourself and prioritize you. Like some people have a boundary of don't call me after 7 p.m. Some people have that boundary. Now, having a boundary and holding the boundary, right? What if you had someone that constantly called you at 7:15, 7:30, even 8 o'clock? You know, then it would be up to you to speak up for yourself. It would be up to you to respect your own boundary and not answer the phone, okay? Or not respond. That would be up to you. So we're responsible for not only making boundaries and putting them into place, we're responsible for upholding those boundaries. And say in business and finance, I find that a lot of people struggle with making a monthly budget. They struggle with the idea that they have to put parameters around their idea of financial freedom. And even in being financially free, you've got to have these parameters to protect yourself. Okay? Because if you're going to be financially free, doesn't mean just being frivolous. Okay? It doesn't mean just being stupid with your money. But having a monthly budget is something I notice people don't have. Okay? And so for those of you who don't have a monthly budget, listen, go back over what you spend every month if you can, if you're able to track on your bank statements, credit cards, receipts, whatever you're able to track. What do you need monthly? You've got to determine that. Like, I have these amount of bills every month. I need, and expenses. Okay. So bills are the necessities and the expenses may be the extra necessities that may be optional. necessities, okay? So figure out what are those optional necessities as well, and then figure out how much money you need and how much money you make. And are you making enough money to support your needs or not? Okay. Be sure to write that down, y'all. It's never too late to begin tracking your spending, because your spending habits are attached to your behavioral habits. Okay. And I know that it's cute for people to say, like, oh, I need some retail therapy. I think, everyone may have done it here and there. Okay. You need some retail therapy. But then what are you avoiding dealing with? Because even in retail therapy, you could be like, okay, I need retail therapy, and you go shopping, and then someone gets on your nerves while you're doing that, and then you snap on them because you're like, don't push me. Like, I came here for relief. I came here to get myself better. Don't push me. And like the song says, yes, this song comes to mind every time. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. Okay? I'm already trying not to lose my head. Okay? It's seriously, when people get on edge, when you get on edge with your business, with your kids, with your life, everything's out of whack. It's full of chaos. Okay? Things are full of chaos. You've got to determine here, what is the most important thing here? What would benefit me most? What do I value most? What exactly do I want? Because sometimes you are going to be like, to hell with all of you and to hell with all of this. And I don't know about y'all, but I felt like that many times where I'm just like, I could just throw up my hands, throw in the towel, and be done with everything. But guess what, y'all? Stalkers don't quit, okay? This company is not Stalk Your Destiny because it sounds cute. Stalkers do not quit. This is about being relentless in your pursuit for your destiny, okay? That has nothing to do with anyone else, and I am not promoting any unhealthy behavior habits other than, I'm not promoting any unhealthy behavioral habits. What I am promoting in Stalkers Don't Quit is that when you're at the point of don't push me or going off on somebody, because those two people that were trying to help me, they got gone off on. And yes, they were trying to do good out here, okay? They were trying to do good, but they were also agitating and irritating and provoking. And I had to let them know, back the hell up. Back up, okay? And even with me as an accountability partner, sometimes, my clients have to say, and I really only had this about maybe once or twice, where people have to say, like, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Where I had to back off of them, because we can push and push and push and push. But until the person is ready to go forward in what they want for their own lives, y'all remember I said we take the cape off. Until someone is ready to go forward on their own, we've got to back the hell up. Okay? And even in me being the person sometimes that says, like, don't push me. I don't know about you, but I am one of the people who I can hear a thing. I can hear advice, suggestion, opinion, right? Then I have to take that and process it for myself. I have to know where to apply it in my own life. And so if you're anything like that, where you feel like maybe you automatically reject help, you automatically reject support, opinions, or anything like that, but you're not really rejecting, you may reject it out of your mouth like, I ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. No, it's a no for me. Thank you. Or like, you just like, leave me the hell alone, right? But you're really just saying, I need a minute, because you're actually going to consider and process what they're saying, right? Then that's okay. Just learn to say different words. Learn to say, give me a minute to process that. Let me get back with you on that. Okay. That's a great way to say, I need time, because it's not that I don't value what you said. It's not that I don't want to understand your position. I need time to see where, if, and how to apply X, Y, and Z to my life. Okay. And in order to do that, again, this goes back to your boundaries, your values, your goals. And what do you want? What direction are you going in? Does that align? People will tell you in business all day long how to do your job. People will tell you at work, oh, Stacy, just do it this way and you got it. And you're like, would you shut the hell up and leave me alone, please? Like, I had it before you got here and I'm figuring it out on my own. And when I need help, I will speak up. Okay. And so don't be afraid to speak up for yourself as well in terms of protecting your boundaries. It doesn't have to be confrontational, but it has to be firm, if that makes sense. It doesn't have to be confrontational, but it has to be firm because people will push and push and push and push you right out of your purpose. There are people assigned to you right now to push you right out of your purpose. They're assigned to you right now to get you off kilter. Okay? Don't let that happen. Make wise choices. Are you thinking for yourself or are you just doing the shit they're telling you to do because they said it and it sound good and they cute or handsome or whatever? You really got to know, why are you doing what you're doing? Okay? It's not even about where you are in your life right now. It's really about, where are you going? Can they go with you? Because also I did a podcast too, cause everybody can't go with you. And that's one of the hardest things to accept, because we get to a level where we're used to having a certain type of pace of people around us. We can time who's coming in. Joanne's coming at 1:30, Derek's coming in at 5, and we can just kind of like time our clock by that. Oh, I'll see so-and-so on Wednesday, every Wednesday, or whatever. And so with that, is that serving your purpose? Are those relationships that you value? Are those areas that you can grow in? Because even those, it can be a weight on you. It can become just a burden on you to try to nurture relationships that are pushing you, but pushing you in the wrong direction, or pushing you in the right direction in the wrong way. Okay. And I know I'm saying a lot here, but you really have to think about these different avenues of entry. Okay. Avenues of entry, where we know that faith comes by hearing. And hearing typically is by the word of God, right? But also there's someone that says faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing. Okay. So you've got to be mindful. What am I hearing? Am I hearing the voice of God? Am I hearing my negative self-talk? Am I hearing my heart's desires? Am I hearing optimism? Am I hearing the trauma from my parents? My childhood trauma? Am I hearing the healthy life I desire to live? Am I hearing the future me letting me know everything's going to be okay? Like, these are the things that we constantly have playing in our heads, okay? You have all these different voices playing in your head, okay? And you have to decide what matters, which voice matters in this instance, because you could also sit in a room by yourself and be pushing you and just be exhausted, especially us ADHDers, okay? Those of us who have that label of ADHD or whatever, or we call it overthinkers, you think too much. No, we don't. No, I'm not thinking too much. Okay. I think things through, right? But in that, are you thinking things through with your voice and your values, and your God? Or are you thinking things through with everyone else's input? Is that pushing you? What pushes you? And sometimes I would tell people in the past, I would tell like my clients when I was coaching, I would let them know, like, I'm your pusher. I'm going to push you. As an accountability partner, I'm going to push you. Okay? And so make wise choices for yourself today. Think about that, okay? Now, let me see if I want to share something from this Bible journal, okay? Oh, yes, toxic people. So when we're talking about don't push me, y'all listen, toxic people will push you to the ends of the earth. Why? Because they want something from you, of you, or with you. Okay? And so we've got to be mindful. Remember, I said yesterday was a rough day for me. And that's because when it comes to awareness of things and you start to see the toxic situations around your life and in your life, okay? If we're being real, you see how you contribute to toxicity being in your life and in your relationships. And that may not mean that you are the toxic one, but in some form of fashion, we entertain toxic bullshit with people, with family members, with loved ones, with work. Like I know for sure that you guys who have a regular 9 to 5 or you're running a business and you have employees or clients or whatever, some way, somehow, we all deal with toxic bullshit, right? And that can push you over the edge, especially once you start having that awareness or self-awareness where you see, like, why am I surrounded by all of this? What is it about me? You know? Um, and you can get on edge with those things. You can be on edge with that, like, to where it can feel overwhelming. Okay. It's overwhelming to realize that things have to change. And in that, you have to be in a space where you can breathe. You have to be in a space where you can process those things, put them in the proper place, and then determine a way forward. Okay. And in that, people can be very judgmental of it. If you expose yourself to others and say, I was just thinking about X, Y, and Z, and, I'm really just trying to place my heart. I'm trying to place what I think about it, what I feel about it, right? Be mindful of the toxic ass people you talk to about that type of stuff, because they will push you, and they will push you over the edge and be like, well, you did it to yourself. They will make you think that you did it, which is total manipulation. Okay. And I think maybe that's what they call gaslighting. Like, you did this to yourself, I didn't do this to you, type of thing. But just be mindful that you don't want people to have so much access to your private thoughts, to your process of change or transformation as you go forward and stalking your destiny. You don't want these people to be able to play puppet master with you. Okay? So you've got to put your priorities in place. You've got to put boundaries in place, and you've got to be able to stand up and say, like, I am not okay with that. Or I am. Have you ever had somebody try to write you out of something good and you're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, and they're like, oh, Tom, we just didn't did it. We just, oh, we just wrote you out of, sure, you want to do that anyway. Have you ever had people on it and speaking for yourself to say, like, who are you to make that decision for me? Who are you to decide or determine that I just don't want an opportunity for something? And that's almost like the other person being prideful. And so you want to be vocal. I guess this is really about don't push me and speak your mind. Okay. You want to be vocal in saying, I would love to try something new. I would love the opportunity to have a chance at that. Don't push me out of business deals. Don't push me out of conversations. Don't push me out of the opportunity to have a relationship, to build and grow, or to even do better as a self. My personal development, okay? Personal empowerment, all of those things. You don't have the right to write me out of these things or push me out of these things. So that's another thing about, like, just don't push me. Don't push me into what I do not desire for myself. Don't push me out of what I don't desire. Or don't push me out of opportunities for things you don't know if I desire or not. Okay? So all in all, making wise choices and prioritizing things and thinking for yourself, y'all, this is a lot of self-development. It requires you to do the work. And the work really is about getting to know yourself. Okay? Are you the problem? Or are you the problem because you just allow everyone around you to be an issue in your life and not an asset? in your life. Think about that too, y'all, because those of us who are helpers, you're helpers, you try to be a good person. You can enable poor behavior in people. And you can enable that simply by saying, well, they already made a decision for me, so I'm just going to go in that direction. Or I don't want to be confrontational, so I'm just going to go with the flow. No, fuck that. If that's not your decision for yourself, you can't just sit back. Like, sitting back and expecting the world or the universe to just determine whatever. I understand waiting on God, but when you have a point where you have to make a decision or a choice for yourself, or think for yourself and speak up for yourself, I need us all to understand that no answer is an answer. No response is a response. Okay. Lack of communication, though, that's a behavioral answer. Okay. And I don't know if that's a thing, if I just made that up, a behavioral response. Okay. Your lack of communication, your lack of engagement, whether that is work, home, personal, business, whatever, relational, family, any of that, the way that you show up in your own life matters. The way that you behave in your own life matters. And the way that you handle being pushed in the right way or the wrong way, for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons, those things matter, and it's all up to you. Okay? So don't push me, because I'm already close to the edge. My plate is already full. But prayerfully, you can speak up for yourself and say, don't do that when it's time for you to protect where you're going and your destiny and your future. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed the show for today. The topic was don't push me, okay? To be a sponsor on the show, you can contact me at teatimewithtara@gmail.com, and I can send you our sponsorship package, or you can just email me and we can communicate about your ideas on sponsoring an ad on the show, or sponsoring a show in general. Okay, you can sponsor a show. Well, it's actually monthly sponsorship, y'all. So let me say that the sponsorship packages are not per show. The sponsorship packages are monthly packages, and you can be a monthly sponsor for as little as $50 a month. Okay. And now that does go up. We have other packages, but as little as $50 a month, you can be a sponsor on this show. Okay. And so if you're interested in that, send me an email, please. I want to hear from you at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. That's TEATIMEWITHTARAH@gmail.com. Okay. And if you say, well, I really do love this show, I don't necessarily have a business, company, product, or service that I would like to advertise on the show, but I just want to be a supporter of the show, then you can send donations in for the show at Stalk Your Destiny via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Okay, now donations can be of any amount, and they don't have to be recurring. We do hope that your sponsorship is recurring, monthly recurring sponsorship or support. For donations, there's no little, it's nothing's too little and nothing's too large. Okay, so for donations, again, you can send donations in via Cash App at Stalk Your Destiny, Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or PayPal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Okay, and we appreciate each and every sponsorship, each and every donation. Don't forget, y'all, to go to the website too and purchase your books. If you've been following along with this show, then we've gone over several Earthly Branches devotional series. We just started the new one, Enlightenment, today. If you guys want to follow along with that or gift those to someone else, you can say, hey, check out this show on YouTube. She's live and on air every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And oh, by the way, here's one of the books that she's like talking from or speaking from. You can pass those on as gifts, you guys. Okay. And even if you want to sponsor the books being given out to schools or students or anything like that, Again, please feel free to connect with me via email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Okay, I would love to hear from you guys. And the show, we would love your support here. This show is not free. Not free for me. It's free for you. The show is free for you, but the show is not free for me, and we want to keep it going. We want to keep it growing and expanding. Okay, so I love your support. Thank you for showing up every week, every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to share it with somebody, y'all. Share that with somebody. Let them know, like, hey, I hear this show. It's not really your typical radio show. It's business and Bible basics, but it's like down to earth too. Share it with somebody who you think would benefit from hearing it, or just be encouraged or uplifted, okay, from hearing it. Let them know where they can go to get some positivity in their life. A cup of positivity for everyone is here, okay? So I'm looking forward to getting y'all emails at teatimewithtara@gmail.com for these sponsorship packages. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to receiving your donations via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal to support the show. Everything is greatly appreciated. I really appreciate you all showing up every week, listening in, writing in the chats, calling in, or whatever way you're communicating. I really do appreciate it here. So, y'all, this has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Don't forget to go over to my YouTube page at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit the like button and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time that I do go live, or every time I do post a new video or anything on the YouTube page at Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. Check out season 1 and season 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I've interviewed guests and asked them what they need on their journey to stalking their destiny. If you guys want to connect with me on social media, check out my IG page at Stalk Your Destiny Official. You can follow me there. You can follow me on TikTok at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can follow me on Facebook at Tara M. Williams. Okay, y'all. I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Thanks so much for tuning in today to Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I will see you guys next week. So have a great week. Bye-bye.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna bring. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you choosing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put some hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual vet where my strength get pumped from. So what's the lie to the child of God? Standing toe to toe, no hiding out. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want my hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is after you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have come me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Look around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. All by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that with chest.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused.